Kermie the Frog here. You're listening to Strikeout Beer with Alan and Rapid Dave.
Guten Tag. That's right, boys and girls. That music means one thing and one thing only. It's Oktoberfest season, which means the boys are talking about beer, 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 wonderful beer, 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 and maybe something else. But tune in, buckle up, and put your drinking hats on because it's going to be a great time. And without any further ado, here's your host, Alan and Rapid Dave.
And everyone goes crazy. Rah!
And we're live. Welcome to Strikeout Beer, episode number 110, with your pals Alan and Rapid Dave. I'm Alan.
I'm Rapid Dave.
How you doing, buddy?
I like that. I don't think we should get kids involved with this, but I always like it though. You know what I mean? Like, you need to put your shades on though.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't put them on yet, but okay.
There you
After
go.
I didn't have them on to start, I was like, oh, I'll put them on afterwards because I'm going full Minshew.
Yeah, you got the full Minshew.
I got the headband.
What's up, Darren?
I got
How you
the
doing, pal?
glasses. We'll see what happens next. I don't know.
Nice.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right, cool.
So how's it going?
Fine.
Fine.
Yep.
You okay?
I am kind of banged up.
I'm worried about you.
I got a head. My head hurts again.
I'm concerned.
So, yeah, you're not concerned.
You might be concussed.
I mean, I don't even know what the number would be if it was another one. It's starting to get out of hand. Oh man, I'm doing pretty good. Tonight we got a special. You know what? Let me kill this freaking music. I'm just gonna put it on a bed. How about that? We got TJ in the house tonight. We are drinking Red Gap Brewing drinks or beers. You said you had 3 of them, I believe, right?
We have 3. We have
this
3
is out
different
of
ones we're gonna
Cisco,
drink.
Texas. Is that right?
Yeah, Joe Buck doesn't do fantasy football. That's why he sucks.
Oh God.
Now for the show. Thank you, TJ.
All right. Well, there you go. Yeah, I'm over here screwing around. So if you could carry me for a minute, I'm going to share out our stream.
So yeah, we're going to have a guest join us here in a few minutes. We got 3 different beers from Red Gap Brewing out there in Cisco, Texas. We've got a Mexican style lager, a milkshake IPA, and an amber ale.
Nice.
So looking forward to all 3 of those. You know, looking ABV, we're going to be under control tonight, it looks like.
Oh, yeah?
You got 5.4%, 5.3%, and 7%.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's just those, when they get a little bit higher, I do get quite nervous, and I don't have time for that, to be honest with you. I don't want to get in trouble.
Darren says, it's funny. Both of you have enough hair for 5 people and wear hats, and I'm bald and I never wear one.
I mean, what do you...
Yeah.
So you can't see from
I got
back
no
here.
hat today.
Yeah, I'll put my hat back.
But I got the bald spot back here. Got the fryer, working on the fryer tuck back there.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we crack him, or do you want to wait until we get our guest on? He's backstage, but I was going to tell you the story. I went live earlier.
Tell us the story.
I'm beat up. Is that a Cobra Kai headband? No, it's not. It's a Minshew headband. Come
Minshew.
on, Boner. So I know with the so, yeah, whatever.
So
I walked out back. I had this great thought in my head. I was like, I'm finishing up my day, my work. I was like, okay, feeling good. Let me grab a Miller and let me go outside. It was raining. Nice little drizzle. So good sound out back. Good sound.
okay.
And I had the microphone. I had the Rode, the boom mic. And I was like, all right, let me go outside. So I go by the garage. I grab the drink. And then I opened up the garage door and it's starting to pour. I was like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't do it. I was like, it's just a little bit of rain. It's no big deal. So as I'm going across from my garage to the bar is about how 20 yards away, maybe 15, maybe.
That.
And I'm tiptoeing. I'm being very cautious.
That's your first problem.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, but I had like a sort of a jaunt going too, because I was tiptoeing, but I had some speed. Step on brick, fine. Step on what's that? Those rocks that I have back there.
Rocks.
Flagstone.
Okay.
And then I'm like, be careful, Bing. That decking is going to be slick. And so what do? I leap. Left foot goes down, slides, and I'm like, oh, no. And I do slow motion.
No.
I land on my freaking knee right into the wood, and then I land on my hip. And then, like when you get jostled, I guess your back kind of cracks or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that cracks all the way halfway up my spine. And then I'm like, I hit my shoulder. and I slide a little bit. I had so much speed, I was sliding.
Angry artist in the house.
Oh God.
What is up, Mr. Russell William?
He's been cracking me up. So then I hit the ground, I slide. I'm like, and I go, and I hear a crunch on my phone because the phone was in the holster with the mic already attached to it, and it made a crack sound. I go, oh God. And I was like, I get up. I'm like, oh geez, I feel like I'm so disoriented. I don't know what's going on. I get up, I'm looking at my phone, that's pouring everywhere, and I'm soaking wet. I'm like, damn it, did I just break my phone? Did I break that thing off of my phone? And so I get up and I'm like, all right, well, I'm standing here and like, now what? I was like, damn it, I gotta go back inside. And so I stuff it underneath my shirt and walk back in. And so then I get in the house, and of course I get in there, I'm like, and I feel beat up, and I felt okay for like 10 or 15 minutes. I was laughing it off, having a laugh. Even went live, still went live to laugh it off. And then about 20 minutes after, massive headache. I don't feel good.
And we probably already need that for him, TJ. You
Yeah.
need the life alert. He said you're going to need it by the end of the week.
I'm telling you. All right, let's go through the. It's funny, both of you. Oh yeah, we already got that one. Cobra Kai. Yeah, we already got you. I didn't mean anything bad by it. It's no big deal, Darren. Don't worry about it. Angry artist. Yeah.
Are we having the angry episode on your show when I here in Texas next month for the con? Yeah, we'll make something happen.
Yeah, Part-Time Nerd's going to be out at the con. Yeah, it's Halloween, so I'm probably not going.
We're definitely making something happen. It's Sunday too.
Oh yeah,
it's Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, it's fall back, so I'll probably be out there.
Yeah,
for that.
we're gonna make something happen there for sure.
Absolutely.
So before we get started, we've got a
where's the Florida
we're doing a giveaway.
And from the good times you dropped, damn. Okay, all right. What does that mean? Where is the Florida from? Oh, Florida. Where is the Florida from good time? Okay, never mind. All right, yeah, go ahead. Jeez.
So we got our here you go. You're our Vanna White. We got our Step Brothers, a la Step Brothers homage stickers in. I'm on delay. You kicked me out of the live feed, so it's going to be a minute. He's going to be in town on that Friday too, so we're doing something for sure. But yeah, so we're going to have these. We got these stickers. We got them in. I got a good chunk. So what we're doing tonight?
I mean, it's a couple inches.
Yeah,
3 inches.
3 inches.
3 inch. Yeah.
Everybody. Yeah. Oh, it was so. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't like it.
No, I'm not talking about the stuff.
Oh, what are you talking about?
The shine on them or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got these. Everyone who shares the show tonight, and you got to have your settings set so that we know you shared it. Because sometimes you'll share it and we can't see who shared it. We got to be able to look and see that you shared it.
If you just
message us, let us know. Tag one of us so that we know that you shared it. Just more than enough, they say.
No one says that. No one.
Oh, buddy.
No one says that. Oh my God.
But everyone who shares is going to get one of these stickers.
Okay.
We're going to mail it to you.
Sure.
So
send us your address
share
too,
it.
or wherever you want it sent to. I always say that. I'm like, before we say like, oh, give me your address. I'm like, no, just tell me wherever you want this sent, and I'll send it there. I don't need your friggin' address.
You want us to send it to your uncle's, cousin's, best friend's barber?
Yeah.
Give us the address.
All right. I'm thirsty.
We're thirsty.
We got Ryan
bring 'em on.
backstage. Let's do it. You ready?
Let's
you ready,
do it.
Ryan? All right. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Got to go widescreen with this load here. What's up, man? How you doing?
I hear that all the time.
Not you. It's this one. I'm kind of beating myself.
Hey, man, doing great. Thanks for having me on.
How are you doing? I'm loving the shirt, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this has been in my possession for about 20 minutes.
Nice.
You can't turn down a free T-shirt.
There we go. And so we got you on. We're drinking your one of the head brewers / owners over there at Red Gap out there in Cisco, Texas, right?
That's right. That's right.
And so we met you guys through a mutual friend out there, Amber, one of your other co-owners out there, shops at a comic book store that I shop at.
Interesting.
And that's how we ended up, meeting you guys, hooking up. And now we're drinking your beer, got you on. We're going to talk about it. We're going to start off with Daryl's mom.
Oh,
which, first of all, I love the name.
She got it going on.
yeah.
It's a Milkshake IPA. It's coming in at 7%. And I got a little write-up here that Amber provided to us. It says, who's that boy's mama? Muscles, strong in stature, thick. Big Daddy Darryl gets recognized. But before Big Daddy Darryl's mom introduced juicy haze and delicious sweet hot flavor, light and hazy in color, and made with lactose, vanilla beans, Citra, Sabro, and Idaho 7 hops, Darryl's mom has got it going on.
Oh, she does have it going on.
Yes, yes.
All right. Cheers.
So you asked a question and we answered it.
Oh, that's hoppy. There's a lot of hoppy in there. I'm always nervous with the lactose though, but we're gonna press on and
Oh, that's good. So tell us a little bit about this beer real quick.
Yeah, so Darryl for Red Gap Brewing is a bowl. So as you mentioned, Cisco's our home, 100 miles west of Fort Worth. It's in the country. It's in ranch land, and Jason and Amber own Red Gap Brewing with myself and my wife Amber, and they have a ranch. They got a bull, and the bull's name is Darryl. So Darryl started this legacy amongst us and our kids. I don't know how heavy a bull is, 2,500 pounds. I mean, it's a big bull, but it's got these eyes that it seem like they're always looking at you. So as you try to get around line of sight, it's like you can never quite make it. So anyway, he's a big bad bull. So he developed the name Big Daddy Darryl amongst our families, and our double IPA is called Big Daddy Darryl. We named it after him. So in our mind, Darryl's the legacy, and all of our IPAs have Darryl somewhere in the name. So when we developed a Milkshake IPA, it seemed appropriate for a beer made with a milk sugar to be have a female persona. So, we're punk 90s music fans to some extent, or at least maybe I am. So
we're right there with you on that.
instead of Stacy's mom, we just thought Daryl's mom should have it going on.
funny.
I absolutely love it. And that's one of the things that we're always interested in is where do the names of the beers come from?
Mm.
And we've talked to some brewers. We're just thinking. And one guy goes, I got 500 names for beers. I got a whole list in my phone. I got 500 names. I'm just waiting to brew the beers.
Nice.
Yeah, right. Yeah. More names than beers for sure.
Right.
Del Guzman coming in. I heard there's a party here. What's going on, Big Daddies? LOL. We got a couple streamers in the house as well. XX Mercury and Old School Wizard.
Old School Wizard. What's up, guys?
Yeah.
So how long have you guys been open up out there?
We opened in June of 2017 to really a very local crowd. And that was part of the plan to open up and develop our tap room before we started packaging beer and putting it out in the market. Within about a year, we were in Dallas, Fort Worth, and then Abilene, and then grew over the next year or two. And recently we just joined Lubbock and Amarillo markets and have expanded a little bit into the greater Dallas Fort Worth area instead of just focusing on the population centers.
Okay. Where can people get your beers at?
Yeah, how far do we got to go?
Yeah, that's a great question. So our cans are available in Total Wine, Specs, Whole Foods, Central Market, and then multiple privately owned independent liquor stores.
Okay.
And our beers, I hate to say it's everywhere on tap, but I can't. There's so many restaurants, it'd be hard to start listing them off one by one. Most growler filling stations have one or two of our beers on at any given time. We have partnership with Chili's and Mellow Mushroom and BJ's. So some of those more chain restaurants will have Red Gap on tap periodically.
Okay.
We found the best partners to be some of the local places, Heim in Fort Worth, Rodeo Goat in Dallas, Fort Worth. Man, they move a lot of Red Gap, and we're really thankful to them for that.
Nice. Yeah,
Awesome.
Dell's like, you're going to West Texas. That's smart. All they do is drink beer. And then Jay's what's up?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It sounds like you're reading our business plan.
Oh man.
So how long have you been brewing for?
Well, personally, before the brewery opened, but once the brewery opened, it's more or less become my full-time job within the brewery itself. It's bigger than I ever thought it would be when you're doing it on your back patio. But it takes a pretty close attention to detail. And I have got another full-time job, so sometimes it's difficult to manage it the way we should. But more or less for 4 years, ever since we've been open, it's been me and the other owner, Jason, or just me doing it.
Well, how long were you, I guess, home brewing before that?
About a year.
That's it? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy. You talk to some people who they've done it for like a year, like him, and then they're just bam, they open up the place, and then you talk to some people who are like, well, I was brewing for about 5-10 years before I went ahead and took that plunge. So what led you to take that plunge so quick and so early into your brewing process? Your brewing life.
Well, I grew up in Colorado, and about the time I hit my drinking age, the craft beer in Colorado was on the move. So it was. I always started off drinking craft beer. It wasn't like I made that move at some point in my life. So I like to say I was doing research and development for 20 years before we started to open a brewery. So craft beer has always been a part of what I'm looking for. And so the brewing followed the interest in craft beer. It wasn't the other way around. And really, we started brewing with the mindset that we wanted to open a brewery in Cisco. And the idea for Red Gap came from a belief in the area, which was Cisco is really nicely located, like 100 miles from Fort Worth and maybe 125 miles from Dallas, in a nice part of Texas, that it would not be unimaginable that something could happen in Cisco like has happened in Fredericksburg, where you have this kind of quaint getaway location that could be a place where you get craft beer, maybe a little bit of culture for a day or maybe 2 days as a little bit of an escape from the city. So Cisco was first, and then we built the brewery around that idea. We always liked the idea of doing beer. We were thinking a brew pub, but without experience in food besides eating it. Brew pub didn't make as much sense as beer. So we kind of did a crash course in brewing and learned as much as we could with a pretty solid idea of what it was that we wanted to put out in the market, and away we went.
That's awesome.
Awesome. So are you guys still just a brewer, or you guys have started that food aspect as well?
No food outside of some pretty cool food trucks who park right outside the tap room on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday.
That seems to be the way to go.
Which I absolutely love that. Yeah. We've got several. I mean, we're right here in that mid-cities, Dallas-Fort Worth area, and a lot of the breweries here kind of go that route, where almost every day of the week you got some breweries who have a different food truck out there every day. And so not only are they pulling people for their beer, but you're also going to be pulling in new people who are following those food trucks,
right?
Where they probably never would have come to your brewery if it wasn't for the fact that one of their favorite food trucks is there.
Yeah. Like, I follow a couple food trucks. I'll be honest with you. There's several that I do like. So and it gives a variety, right? When you go there, like one day you have the brisket or the barbecue, or you might have street tacos. That's fine on one-offs. But if it's like a Saturday and you're getting all these people together, it's like, man, why not have a variety? Why you got a pizza truck, you got a taco truck, burger truck, stuff like that. It's nice. That's fun. That's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, definitely love it. So. Have you guys stayed open throughout this whole thing with beer to go? How has this affected you guys?
Or has it affected you at all?
Yeah.
No, it's been significant. It's honestly even hard to remember what it was like beforehand, because it's really hard. We got through the initial wave, if you will, and we reopened in late May. I don't remember the exact dates. We had a killer June, not just in Cisco in our tap room, but just market wide. And we were really encouraged that that's the way it was going to continue post-COVID. And then I think it was June 26th when Governor Abbott closed down bars, including breweries.
Funny how it could detect if you were going to a Chili's or a brewery.
A brewery? Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. There's all sorts of things that I'd like to say. It's probably best I don't. But that order is still in effect.
We say all that for you. Don't worry.
I figured as much. But TABC changed their guidelines a little bit ago, and we were able to qualify as a food and beverage. So we sell packaged food in the form of chips and pretzels and peanuts, and then we're now able to account food truck tickets as part of food revenue, which allows us to stay below 51%, because the order was published to limit establishments that are 51% or greater, and I'm talking about alcohol sales.
Right.
So, in summary, July and August were really, really hard. not knowing what was next. And I'm thankful that we've had a little bit of a loosening of the regulations for what was considered food and beverage from the TABC. And man, I hope that our partners are doing the same. I know they were really hurting too. So those bars that do great business, I hope they're able to open up here soon too.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, it's especially here in the DFW area, so many craft beer places, not just places that brew it, but your craft and growler places,
Or just small
that really
bars.
do it, or small bars.
Mhm.
And it's been tough on a lot of those, and just even the restaurants and things. So it's now. Did you guys? What kind of effect did you see on your distribution? Because like you're saying, you guys are out there in the Total Wine and things like that.
Yeah.
Did that increase your distribution of what you was sending out, or did that? How did that affect that?
Yeah, it did a little bit. It did. We're a small family-run operation, and although we do distribute, the places that we can maintain that personal touch all the way to the shelves, we do, and in Dallas-Fort Worth, we do. So we're limited by our exposure to where we can go by the manpower that we have in place. And I'm married, got kids. Jason and Amber have kids. So, time's really essential. So we've got to be efficient as possible. So with that, the places where we are, some of them like Whole Foods and Central Market might be places that you go buy your essentials at. But Total Wine and Specs, I don't know if people can get toilet paper there, but there was definitely a time where folks were getting out for a one stop and they wanted to get bottled water, toilet paper, the essentials. And if beer was there, they'd get beer. And for the most part, that doesn't really describe the places that Red Gap Beer is on the shelves. However, even with that, we did experience increased distribution in cans over that time, but also with a pretty significant correspondence and reduction of keg beer, just due to the fact that restaurants were closed and bars, etc. And even now, I don't know what the number is. Maybe you guys do, but there's a percentage of people who still aren't going out to have a beer in the restaurant or the bars. And I think that just has effects down the chain where there's just not as much availability for beer to get pushed out in the market because there's not as much consumer demand.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, at the first point of when everything got locked down, Del, we locked down immediately, like I think in March, and we're slowly creeping out. So yeah, but yeah, beer and alcohol sales were like skyrocketed.
Yes,
March, April, May, and so we were like plowing through beer. But I was trying to stay on the light side at least. But we still were going to the brewery like nonstop. It's like, hey, we're gonna go
just going and getting all the beer to go and doing everything we can to support all the great, local craft beers that are brewed here in the area. And I'm sure somewhere like Cisco, you guys had a pretty good following there. And that's a community that hopefully they kind of took you guys in and supported you through everything. I mean, obviously you guys are still able to keep your doors open and not have issues that way.
Right.
Because you've seen there's been several breweries that have had to close their doors because of it. So it's always a good sign when you have someone who's still going through it and staying open. So that's definitely a positive.
I like this.
Yeah, I agree.
So what do we got there next?
My time, we got Red Gap Brewing Mexican style lager. Limes out, y'all. Yeah, I like this can. This can is cool.
Cool.
It's an awesome logo.
Mm-hmm.
And so on this one, now when this first came out, it was called Rojo Gapo. Is that correct?
It was. Yep, that's right.
And then you went away from that and just went straight to just Mexican style lager. This is a crystal clear Mexican lager, is crisp, refreshing, and disappears quickly. Mild lime aroma lingers just past the point you realize your glass is empty. So what was with the name change on that one?
So Rojo Gapo was something that we thought was somewhat funny, humorous, playing words, using like a cliche for Spanglish. And what we found is when we introduced our beer as Rojo Gapo, you just get a confused look from whoever you were talking to because Rojo meant something, Gapo didn't. If the individual was familiar with Spanish, they were confused. If the individual wasn't familiar with Spanish, they were still confused. So what we found we were doing is going, hey, this is Rojo Gapo, our Mexican style lager. And about a year ago, we just decided, hey, let's just cut Rojo Gapo. Let's just call it a Mexican style lager. we felt like it was also very clear, straightforward with what we were trying to do, and took away some of the confusion that we saw that name was bringing. We think it's still funny, but kind of clever or whatever, but probably not, doesn't have a place on a can.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I
like the can.
The can is awesome. And here's what I love the best about this can.
Mm.
You want to go ahead and show this so everyone can see this?
I'm not getting up.
It's got a target, Cisco shootout.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're out there in the country. What are you doing? You're shooting guns,
drinking beer, and
drinking beer, shooting guns. You're shooting cans. It's got the target on here. It's got the different points for the different.
Is that what that
sections.
was for?
Yeah, 7, 8, 9. You get the 10. You get the bullseye.
Little pellet gun.
That's an awesome can. I love the color.
Yeah, big time.
You steer away from those traditional colors that they have.
When we used to do our beer reviews, and we would break down even down to like the can art. That actually weighed in, because if it's sitting up on a shelf and you're just walking down the beer aisle,
is it going to grab my attention?
Is it going to grab your attention? And this can is going to grab your attention. That color, the lettering, and that target. So yeah, absolutely. I think it's fantastic. It stands out.
It's a huge thing because you're looking there, say you go to a Total Wine and More. There's how many different beers there are at Total Wine and More? You've got hundreds, almost. It's probably say you have close to 1,000 different beers there.
For sure.
Pretty close to it.
Yeah.
You're looking for something that's going to grab your attention. So you're just sitting or staring at everything. And if everything's your normal blue, gray, things like that, white, it doesn't really attract your attention. But then you throw something like a target on it. Okay, that's going to grab my attention. You throw bright colors on it, you're going to grab my attention.
Yeah, I like it. I do. It's quite crisp for a.
It's really good.
A lot of Mexican lagers will have maybe a lingering taste or something like just a little bit different. But I think this thing smells good. It tastes good. That's a damn good beer.
It is. And so is this one of the ones that you can get out at your Total Wine and More and things like that?
Yeah, that's right. Pretty much all places that carry Red Gap will have the Mexican style lager in cans beside the other offerings.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So y'all are just getting closer to like Fort Worth side of things. So I mean, what's the plans to get it more like, say, where the people who are watching this in the DFW area? I mean, is there long-term plans, or is that something maybe for 2021?
I would answer that question differently every year. Our plans in the last 6 months have really been shaken up. You said, is there plans to get it to Fort Worth? Is that right?
Yeah, because you're getting closer and closer to Fort Worth.
Yeah, we're in Fort Worth and Dallas.
Okay.
At the location. Okay. Yeah. Total Wine, Whole Foods, Central Market, Specs, some independently run liquor stores that are great partners between Dallas and Fort Worth.
I thought it had to like start, locally and just kind of spread. I didn't know it got all the way over here now. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, well,
okay.
And to be honest with you, both of our families live in Keller, Texas, so we consider Fort Worth home, and being here allows us to take the brand more than just outside Cisco. So some of the relationships that we just have with businesses around the Fort Worth area, we've been able to, carry the Red Gap brand into those places as well. And Fort Worth and Dallas have made great partners, and we were a little bit scared of Dallas because, we're not necessarily from there, and not knowing what the culture was like in Dallas. But man, Dallas has been great. Dallas has really supported Red Gap, and some of our beers do very well there.
I find that strange. There's a lot of Fort Worth people that don't like Dallas or not from Dallas. But then again, I find a lot of it's kind of one-sided. No, it's not. It's 75-25 at the best.
Whatever.
Fort Worth people don't like Dallas people, and I understand why. I totally get it.
So that you just mentioned something I found really interesting, because obviously, I met Amber. I met her out there in Keller, out there at Comic Warriors, and knew she lived there. So you live in Keller as well.
Oh, there you go.
So you guys live in Keller, but you're all the way out in Cisco. So that's got to be a little bit tough, right?
Yeah. What I tell anybody who's writing a business plan for whatever the next idea is just to get in your car, drive 2 hours, and start a business there. It makes perfect sense. Yeah.
I bet
it goes back to the connection with the. It goes back to the connection with the area, and this is a pretty fast-paced world we live in, and it's remarkable how quickly things change as you start getting outside 820 and pushing into the country on I-20. So, because of that, it seemed like Cisco was a great place to lay our roots for the brand, for this type of brand, one that we felt like was developed to connect with others in a kind of a slowed down environment.
Okay.
But yeah, neither one of us live in Cisco. Jason and Amber's family, they have a family ranch out there that we've been going to since the early part of this decade, and or I guess the last decade, early 2010s. And just kind of like the area. You always sit on the porch drinking a cup of coffee on a rainy morning, and it's like we were dreaming. And all of a sudden, we started calling and making decisions about having those dreams come true. And very quickly, we progressed into a brewery and opened a lot sooner than I thought we would have been able to.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. So, and I bet, you guys have been open for 3 years now. I bet that drive is actually, has it gotten better in the last 3 years?
It has. You know what? I think my personality, and I imagine most brewers are like me, kind of type A, maybe control freaks. If I lived 5 minutes from the brewery, I'd be there every day.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm not allows me to, when I shut the lights off, to be really certain of the decisions that I've made, so that I feel comfortable driving 2 hours away. But then there's that freedom, right? Because you are outside of what you could do to drive back. So I would never purposely plan that, but it's worked out, I think, to some degree in our advantage. So what you said is 2 hours doesn't seem all that long, and I'd agree with that. It's a nice time to relax, get home, kind of shed the high-paced brewery life, and then go back to family or work or whatever is next.
Yeah, I bet that's as crazy as it sounds. I bet that's brilliant though, because you're not going back in. Like, I'm going to go in. You know what I mean? If you were 5-10 minutes down the road, you'd be like, "Oh, you're right." You'd always be in
think
there.
Of something. You're like, "Okay, I got to go back.
Let me go in there."
But because
it's a 4 hour.
You just can't turn around and go right back. You're going to put a little more. Yeah. Okay, wait a minute.
Exactly. Yeah, and I don't want to come across as that we've got all our ducks in a row. That I there's a brewer who lives in the area, and I have him going back and forth doing stuff as well. So there is that part of it too, but there's also a requirement to transfer some of the responsibility away from yourself and bring other people up within the brewery to take some of that responsibility with you.
Yeah. And TJ brings up, having the freedom speaks volumes about the staff that you have there. Mm-hmm. Because it's not just the four of you that are running that brewery. I'm sure you've got locals that are there. You said you have a brewer that's there. So being able to have staff that you can count on like that, that's huge. That's got to be big.
Yep. It is huge. Yeah. Trust. And we haven't had any issues with trust in our 3+ years. So I couldn't be more thankful for that. But yeah, we might be the owners, but it takes much more than the owners to make this happen. And we got a team of about 10 that are all part of the Red Gap engine.
That's awesome. Nice. That is sweet.
All right. Is it, we got a question here from Old School Wizard David Sprague. Is it difficult to get into other states with it?
Yeah, but I'd say I think that question was directed at Red Gap. Is that right?
Yeah. For you. So have you guys gotten your beers in any other states yet? Or have you looked into it?
I think the blessing, the curse of being in Texas is a pretty big frontier to conquer. So we haven't even got outside really into Austin, San Antonio, Houston, some of the other major markets. I'm not sure that we'd go there before we'd go to Oklahoma. But the answer is no. We still feel like there's plenty of opportunity for us right in Dallas, Fort Worth, Abilene, Lubbock, Amarillo, Midland, Odessa area.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned two huge markets here in Texas, in Austin and Houston.
Yeah,
those are two, especially Austin with the college there. And 6th Street and all that, and then Houston is massive too.
Cletus Henson, Texas is a country. Yes, yeah, essentially, we're big enough to be.
Yeah,
used to be our own, I suppose. But yeah, I guess that's one good thing about it, right? If you have your your license to brew beer and sell beer, you have I don't know how many square miles Texas is.
It's a lot.
It's a hell of a lot. And yeah, some of the cities are bigger. Think about down south where you got Houston, Austin, San Antonio. That's bigger than most states. You know what I'm saying? So that's cool. Yeah. Just keep working here. If Old School Wizard needs something, just let us know.
We'll take care of you.
We'll take care of you. Just let me know.
So let's get into a little bit of brewing. What is your favorite style of beer to brew?
You know, whenever I get asked my favorite, I always feel like it's answering the question, who's your favorite kid? And with 3 kids, you know, at any given time, it might be one of the different ones, although you never answer the question directly. I really love each of our beers. I feel like they all have a different personality, not just in the way that they taste, but in the way they come across when brewing them. I'll tell you what, I just brewed a stout this past week, and it was so great to look into the mash tun and see something dark and just biscuity, you know, steaming coming up. Like, it was awesome. I was like, oh, I love brewing this beer. But, you know, next week I'll brew a Hefeweizen and I'll be like, oh, I love brewing this beer. So I think there's something about each of the beers I really love.
Okay. So what was the first beer you guys brewed there at Red Gap? What was the first one?
Well, okay. So we brewed 1878 lager, which is our most popular beer, a traditional American style craft lager. And it's the first brew we brewed on the patio. It's the first beer that we brewed in our brewery. We knew that our taproom visitor from Cisco was going to be familiar with beers that were very similar to an American style lager. And you can think of all of those that they might be. So we had to nail that beer and get it right so that their first impression was a good one. And eventually they could trust us on their journey of craft beer, you know, get into the other styles that we have. But honestly, I think even to this day, 3 years later, most of them are still drinking our 1878 lager.
Because that's the thing. That's the challenge that you have. So if you go into an area, so are you guys the only brewery there in Cisco?
Yeah.
So being the only brewery there, you're in the country. Most of these guys are drinking Bud Light, Budweiser, Miller Lights, your Coors Light, your Coors Banquet, Original. They're drinking those traditional lagers. So you show up there with a, hey guys, try this Milkshake IPA. It's great.
They're gonna love it.
They're gonna look at you like, so you have a milkshake beer, like it's a ice cream.
Pace,
like they look at you like they have
commercial.
no idea what you're talking about.
New York City.
But you're like, no, it's not a milkshake. Let me just. Okay, well, here, try this one first. Okay, take this lager and drink this. So it's got to be a little bit of a challenge to show up there and have all these other different beers.
That's right. We would have lost all credibility if we would have arrived with nothing familiar to our clientele, or, you know, we would have been open, but only attracting guests from faraway places. So you're exactly right. The milkshake IPAs, you know, the various flavors and stouts, all that stuff came along later, which we thought it would, but still to this day, nothing has replaced just our straightforward lager in taproom.
We do have a question from TJ Burns. Do you have any whiskey aged beers? I guess that's barrel aged he's asking about, right? Yeah. Do you have any barrel aged beers?
No, we don't. It's something that we'd like to do, something that is on the horizon. But we have a beer coming out in a couple of weeks that's been infused with pecans aged in bourbon, but we have not to this date put any beer on wood in a bourbon barrel.
Okay. I'm interested
I'm interested.
Is it pecan or pecans?
Pecan.
Yeah, we've had this question before.
You're right. Good luck figuring that one out.
So what is there been a beer that you brewed that just completely fell flat? And you did it once and you just said, you know what, that was fun, but we just can't ever do that again. Yeah,
we have. And we developed a beer, branded a beer that it's called West Texas Sunset, and it just never came across right. So I think you said once. I think we actually did that one twice and changed a few things the second time, and really wasn't coming across the way we wanted to, and just abandoned it. There was other ideas that we wanted to explore. I think every brewer is going to have, you know, some episodes like that. And, you know, even as beer guys like yourself, you think people are going to like a beer, maybe because you do, or because you think the flavors come across nice, but you don't necessarily have the last vote. You know, those beers have gotten get in the hands of the consumers, and So we definitely have one beer that I mentioned that we no longer brew. We've got plenty of beers that haven't been as popular as I would have thought they would have been.
And what's one of those? Give us an example of one of those.
Yeah. So I love coffee, and when you start getting into stouts, we made a coffee stout that I thought just nailed it. It was low ABV. It was like 5.5%. But the coffee came through really well. So it was this 5.5%, almost like iced coffee stout, if you will. And it just didn't hit the marketplace, and didn't get the response that I thought it was. This was back in 2017. And, if I was to speculate, I'd say that I think folks expect a coffee stout to be maybe a little bit bigger than 5.5%. Maybe a little bit sweeter than it was. The coffee finished it off with a little bit of roasty bitterness. I don't know. I liked it, but it's one that didn't leave the impression with the customers the way I was hoping.
Yeah, I think most coffee stouts go in about 8 and can always finish up about 10.5 ABV. They just got a lot. There's a lot there, right? A lot of flavors, a lot of things taking over one another. So, I mean, I've grown to like them. I know you don't like coffee, Alan, but
then again, I've had some of those coffee beers that have been pretty good.
It turns out okay.
That turned out they don't go overboard with the coffee. You have some where it's like you're drinking a cup of coffee, and you have some where it just kind of has that hint to it. Yeah. So it's definitely a.
Jay says he's been waiting a year to try some of my homebrew beer. Yeah, you're not going to get any.
Another question we got from Mike Fink. Do you produce gluten-free beers? If so, can you ship them to New York area? Also, I would like to be your official beer sponsor of all my articles. We currently don't have a sponsor.
Oh, God.
Have you guys ventured into the gluten-free beer at all?
No, we have not.
Because
we get asked it all the time, and man, it's just there's a place for it. I'm just not sure it's with us, and you've got to you can't do everything. So what we've done is we played around with some seltzers that would be accommodating to somebody who's gluten intolerant.
Mm-hmm.
So let me say that we're sensitive to those who are gluten intolerant, but we have a hard time understanding how we can push forward a market for a gluten-free beer. Instead, our approach to that was more of a seltzer, so more of a fun seltzer that's taproom only, that can be enjoyed by those who are gluten sensitive or gluten intolerant.
There's a couple breweries here in the Metroplex that decided to go that route. Instead of a gluten-free beer, they created a seltzer. Or they bring them in from other places to cater towards that. Because with me, I have a daughter who actually has celiac and has to maintain a gluten-free lifestyle. Always back to the kids.
When it comes up, it comes up.
Can we
Deal
ever
with
just
it.
all right?
I can't help it. You don't like your kids, and I like mine. It is what it is. But the issue is, and I understand the struggle that you guys would have to have with something like that, is while yes, you have a high level of cleanliness there, it's at a whole nother level when you're trying to do that gluten-free beer, because you have to watch out for that cross-contamination. And that's the biggest thing, because you don't want to produce something where you're thinking it's gluten-free, but it's got to go through a lot of obstacles and stuff to actually be classified as gluten-free. And you don't want to advertise something that isn't, because you can get someone really sick with that.
Right.
It's tricky. While yes, you would like to be able to do something for that, being a smaller brewery, you just can't.
Why risk it?
You can't do it. It's just not. You've got to be a bigger area, bigger place where you have plenty of room where you can quarantine off this section.
Is that what you have to do?
And keep it clean. Yeah, because it's. Like for us, we have a separate toaster for my daughter because she can't use the same toaster.
Wow.
The cross-contamination. So it's in different areas where that toaster's completely on this side.
I always kind of wonder how people navigated life like 15 years ago.
Oh, I don't even know.
Or 10 years ago.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, back to beer.
So we've moved on to the last one, 3110. It's an amber ale coming in at 5.3%. And 21 IBUs. And we've got 2 wives, 2 ambers, building a brewery on the foundation of connection and family. Requires intense ties to the women we love. This beer is for them, honors them, and celebrates the proclamation of Proverbs 31:10. A beautiful amber hue is built on biscuity, and rich malt, then hops of citrus spice and honey perfectly balance this beer for lasting satisfaction. This is the type of amber you can commit to for the long run.
That was a hell of a reading right there. That was fantastic. Oh wait, I got it downloaded.
There we go.
Good.
So this is obviously a beer you guys brewed in honor of your wives. They're both amber.
That's right.
Tell us a little. Is this their favorite type of beer, or it's an amber beer and their names are amber?
Yeah, more the second. More the second. We had an amber. It was called Pretty Witty Amber that we opened up with in Cisco, and that was one of the beers that we enjoyed and our clientele liked. But I thought that we could do it better. So as we got brewing experience under our belts, I've been planning this amber for about 2 years, and then we started brewing it this spring, and it came out really nice. We think that there's a place for it in the market, and away we went. The name, the name comes from Proverbs 31:10, where it says, "Who can find a wife of noble character? She is far more precious than jewels." And our families met in church. Our wives are great, great women who not just run our families, but also our business, support us, love us. And you would do way better on a podcast having them on instead of me. But you got stuck with me. So so they're the heart and soul of our business. And so we really just wanted something where we had two ambers, and there's a beer style called amber. Gosh darn it, we should have an amber ale. And so this is what it is, and I'm happy with where it's at. I don't know. What do you guys think?
It's delicious.
It's pretty tasty.
It's pretty good. I mean,
I noticed it's a little, what do you want to call it? Murky, I guess.
It's a little bit more murky than a lot of amber ales that you get,
but it's tasty.
But it's really good.
Yeah.
So what adds to the murkiness of it? Almost kind of like a hazy look.
Just a little murk in there.
But darker, right?
Murk.
Yeah. Well, so the malt that we use in there is known to not be as clear in the way it presents in a glass, but it does produce or accentuates the biscuit and toasted notes. So for us, that was more important than the appearance in the glass, was the actual taste of the beer. So we went with that style of grain to give the malt the right character.
Nice.
Yeah, which, I mean, we talk about the problems with the murkiness.
No, if you tell me it's a murky beer and it's murky, I don't have a problem with it. But if you're telling me it's crystal clear and then it comes out looking murky, then I got a problem.
We've had those before.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we're huge, hazy fans. We love hazy IPAs and things like that. And, you'll talk to some brewers who, okay, this is an amber. It's supposed to be clear. And if they brewed something like this, they would have fits. Their OCD would take over. And you've got some who, they've always brewed the lagers, so they always brew those crisp, clear beers. And then all of a sudden you start throwing the hazies into the mix, and they're like, well, that's not how you brew beer.
Yeah.
But you guys are taking the route of, look, we're just going to brew a good tasting beer, regardless of what it looks like. The look is what it is, and I'm not going to judge a beer off a look. A lot of times I don't even look at, you don't see, if I'm drinking at home, I don't see what the beer looks like, because I crack open a can and I drink it, sometimes I'll pour it into a glass, but and it's mostly if I'm drinking something that I'm going to post for the show, show people, and that's what we do here on the show. Is we want to always crack open the beer, show people what the beer is, see what we're looking at, and talk about that. But majority of people don't even see what the beer looks like unless you go and get it on tap.
Right.
So
I like it.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, all three of them have been
fantastic.
Fantastic. They really have been. Are you guys on Untapped? Are you guys set up on there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So people can find all these beers on Untapped, check them in, see what's about them.
3110 is new. I don't even know if it has 10 reviews on Untapped.
Wow.
It's just recently getting out there. The cans that you were given were specially canned from the tap room, the ones that don't have our prepackaged labels on, as a little bit of showcase, some of our new and different stuff, and then some of our core beers as well with the Mexican style lager.
Okay. Nice. So what beers are out there in the marketplace that people can get?
1878 lager. It's what we just consider a American lager. It's 5.2%. It's our foundation beer. Big Daddy Darryl double IPA is an 8% double IPA. It's going to scratch the itch for those looking for a hazy. It's going to scratch the itch for those who are used to, high IBU double IPAs. It's kind of a hard beer to classify in the multi-dynamic IPA classifying world. Not quite hazy enough to be a New England. Definitely not upfront bitter or clear enough to be a West Coast. It's
Kind of in the middle.
It's a West Texas double IPA.
There you go.
There we
All
go.
right, now we're talking.
Probably our most widespread draft beers are Gunsight Hefeweizen, which is a 5.8% German Weissbier, brewed in under the German purity law. Everything about that beer is German: yeast, malt, hops, etc. That comes in a gold can. And then we have our Big Chief Bock, which is a very malty and rich 5.7% Bock. That is probably like 1.5 times what you'd think of a Shiner Bock. It's a little bit stronger, a little bit sweeter. It's a little bit darker. But that also has been a beer that you'll see quite a few places on draft. And then as we enter these, I don't know what you consider dark beer to be in Texas, but most of our consumers have considered it to be about the next 2 or 3 months. And then by January, they're ready for crisp lagers again. So our dark beer season is kind of small. We do offer a porter, and probably the 2 best seasonals we have is a pecan. It's called Pecan Pete. It's a pecan porter. It's delicious. It's made with tons of locally grown and roasted pecans. And then I'm going on a little bit here, but I wanted to get to Slowpoke Joe, which is our coffee lager. As much as I love beer, I might love coffee more. So bringing coffee into our beers is always important. We already mentioned the coffee stout. We also do a coffee lager, which is really interesting because you've got this fairly light colored beer sitting in front of you that has this incredibly rich and powerful coffee nose. And it's a little bit of a mind trick because you've got this clear beer and you drink it, and the front side of it tastes like coffee and the back side tastes like beer. It's a beer we're real proud of, but it's also one that we do in limited quantities to keep it fresh. It's called Slowpoke Joe.
I don't think I've ever heard of a coffee lager. I think that's the first that I've heard of that.
Yeah, when he said it, I go, I don't know if that's accurate. Question here: where can we pick up the lagers at stores, or it has to go to the brewery to get it?
That's probably our most widespread beer. So
it should be
Total Wine, Specs, Central Market, Whole Foods. They should all have good quality, good stock of the 1878 lager.
Nice. We need to check that out. And then also from David Sprague, do you have a light beer?
Like low calorie light?
I would assume so.
Yeah, our lowest calorie beer is about 140 calories. That's the Mexican style lager sitting in front of you. So, that's probably as light as we'll go anytime in the near future.
Yeah, you start having to sacrifice, I think, flavor where everything just becomes it just tastes like
water.
Yeah, I mean, you have too much water in there, right?
Yeah.
And that's what happens. So yeah, I mean, for 147, I think you said 147 calories for that beer. I think that's reasonable.
That's not bad.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And so I got one last question for you. It's a 2-parter there. What's the highest ABV that you've brewed and the lowest ABV?
The highest is the Big Daddy Darryl double IPA, which is 8.1%.
Okay.
The lowest is we have a taproom only beer that we call beer, and
that's the name of it is beer.
Creative.
It's beer. Yeah, it's just beer.
I love
and
it.
like a year ago, we were innovators and pioneers with that name, and since then, a lot of other craft breweries have put out beer, very plain named beers. So we thought we were going to be the first market, and we weren't. But anyway, that's a 4.6% beer.
Okay.
That's still not that bad.
That still ain't that bad at all.
And that's probably about the same amount of calories as the Mexican style lager. It's right around there, about the same, but that's taproom only.
Okay. All right. So what do you guys got coming up at the brewery? Any events, anything planned, anything like that?
Well, we just opened. We just had our second weekend open. So we're now getting our feet back under us, running a tap room the way that we were back before the first shutdown or the second shutdown, however you want to look at it. So honestly, we're a little timid to start planning anything right now because we feel as though we're not in a stable governmental environment right now.
You have no idea what's going to happen.
We have no idea what's going to happen. And the worst thing is telling people no. So we're going to probably just stay the course here for a little bit. We do a 5K in December called our Lager Jogger. I think we've committed to doing that again, but you might stand by and look at social media just to make sure that I'm not off base as I tell you that.
Okay.
We have a lot of fun beer coming out. We have a mixer in the early part of October that's going to have that Pecan Pete, the Slowpoke Joe coffee lager, and then also a bourbon pecan stout. We're really excited about it. It's going to have some really cool marketing, and we're putting a lot of effort into it because we know that at least packaged beer isn't something that's going to be taken away in a moment's notice via the next governmental order.
So you guys are going to ship that bourbon pecan out to stores?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because
let us know. Because I've got to get it to a buddy
when it comes out. Because
buddy of ours.
I'm a big bourbon fan, and we throw the bourbon in the beer and the pecan, like the pecan beers. All the ones we've had. I don't like. Well, you like pecans. I like pecans. Yeah. They're all really good. I've enjoyed them all. Yeah. Some more than others, but there are a lot of really good ones out there.
Right.
Do you guys have a patio out there too? I imagine you guys have to have a big patio. We have
a patio. Yeah. Not sure I'd call it big, but you could fit upwards of 15 or 20 people out there. And honestly, the fall is the best time to be out there. The temperature gets good. We're in the shade. It's a great place to sit out front and watch Cisco go by.
All right. And where's all your social media? Where are you guys at? I know you're on Facebook. Where else are you guys at?
Yeah, Instagram. We're at Red Gap Brewing, and then same handle for Facebook.
All right.
And we mentioned Untapped as well.
Yes. Ryan, we appreciate you hopping on.
Yeah, thanks, fellas.
Dude, beer.
Talking to you. Cheers.
Awesome. Love them. Cheers. Thanks for joining us. We'll definitely have to do this again. And I'm going to make a trip out there at some point.
Might have to get this.
Give us a heads up. We'll give you the tour.
We got a 5K in December. Might have to swing by for a 5K.
I've been known to jaunt around a little bit.
I'll throw my weight around for a little bit and drink some beers afterwards. We'll see what happens.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I think I just committed us to the 5K.
Oh, God,
all right, man. Hey, Ryan, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Off. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
It's been fun.
Man, how cool was that?
Just a good time.
I like talking to nice people that want to talk about beer and just, overall just chill. I think it's cool.
And let me tell you, these beers are good.
Yeah, they're damn good.
These are really, really good beers. I'm definitely enjoying them.
Uh-huh.
We've got this thing where everyone's waiting for scores, right? We don't score beer when we have the brewers on with us.
Right.
And we just don't do it.
Well,
but here's the thing. We've never had bad beers when we've had the brewers on. We just don't score them while they're on there.
We don't score them, Alan looks like he's about to go to a wrestling match, just needs one piece. All right, put it on.
No. We're going the other route, buddy.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll be making a trip to the liquor store to pick up some Red Gap. Ryan, you're not leaving the house. Shut up.
Yeah, Ryan ain't going anywhere.
Oh, not Ryan Rumley. This is for Ryan Horton. Yeah.
Boner. We'll just call him by his proper
Old School
name.
Wizard, thank you so much for popping in and chatting with him. Yeah, it was great. It's so much fun to talk to brewers. And you can ask him the same questions, but he has there's different answers for everything, right? What got you into brewing? What's this? Where do you come up with your names? Your favorite beer to brew. Now, there are our favorites. But he's
obviously.
I like them all the same. Like, we're not asking that question. We're not asking that question. We want to know which one do you like brewing the best? But
just tell us.
Tell us.
The beer can't hear you.
Yeah. With the glasses now, it looks like Teen Wolf.
But that's the thing. You get some brewers on who they're very camera shy and they don't want to talk a whole lot.
Yeah.
But then you get guys on like Ryan here who.
He leaned back and chilled.
We're an hour in.
Yeah. We let him do his thing. Yeah. We asked him, what are we doing? Hard hitting questions or something like that? No, we're sitting there just having a conversation about beer.
That's it.
That's all. And you know what? We've had more fun with home brewers, small time brewers, things like that. I mean, because they just like think it's hilarious. They think it's fun. They think it's hilarious. They sitting there, they're having a beer themselves, and we want that anyways. We want them to make sure, one, they're relaxed and they're having a beer because, you know, we want everybody chilled out. You don't need to like me at the beginning of the show where I'm like, man, I got a headache. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do this. Well, now I'm like, I bet
you were so down. I was like, man, I'm going to have to like kick you off the show and just it's going to turn into the Allen show.
I'm telling you. And nobody wants that.
No, but everybody wants
Nobody.
that.
Yeah, you had it right the first time.
Nobody,
dude, this Mexican lager is, I mean, awesome.
I really like that milkshake.
Dude, I mean, this thing is where it's
I've got another milkshake in here. I'm going to have that one next.
Okay. Hey, toss me that towel, will you?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so what do y'all want to talk about? Interzone, you know what we want to talk about. We want to talk NFL.
Oh, man. You're going to get a lot more NFL in the late night beer review.
Yeah.
Starting at 9 o'clock. We'll be back on YouTube, Interzone. Don't worry.
Don't worry. We'll be back, baby.
We're going to do our picks of the week during the late night beer review. We got our boy TJ hopping on with us to do that late night beer, or to do the late night beer review, to do the picks of the week.
We're going to do that.
We're going to do picks of the week every week during the NFL season, and we need you to jump on with us for that.
And we're keeping up. Like the last couple of years, we've been trying to keep up or whatever. We have a winning record. We put the bets that we throw on Instagram and Facebook and our week. Well, I don't trust the weekly bets, but the stuff we post on Sunday morning, those things hit. Anyways, if you share the stream tonight, go ahead and say it.
You're going to get one of these stickers. We've got the Step Brothers homage sticker.
The picture right behind Alan's head over there.
We got the stickers in.
The free.
Everyone who shares the show is getting one of these.
Yep. Appreciate you guys stopping by the way. All right, what the hell?
Grab bag question.
Oh, yeah, there we go. And this week's dad joke is brought.
No, not yet. We'll do that now. Best hard drinking superhero.
Hard drinking?
Like if there's a superhero you want to drink with.
Wait, that doesn't make sense. What? Read that again.
Best hard drinking superhero, like someone who drinks a lot and
Did
who's
you
a
write
superhero.
that? You had to write that.
I don't know.
Because that doesn't make any sense.
It was a question someone gave to us.
Oh, hard.
So I copy what they. So
there's one that's a drunk, right?
So when you think of
Wolverine.
So when you think of Wolverine, I think Lobo.
We got Punisher in the house.
Punisher. Oh man. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Wolverine because he hates.
I obviously think Wolverine.
He's nothing but regret. He's had a long, long life. You know, he's trying to drink himself silly every night just to pass out.
Here, not that long. I think it was like last month. There was a Wolverine. He has his own comic,
right?
And he needed Magneto's helmet because it blocks telepaths from getting into his head.
Yeah,
that's why Professor X can never read his mind or anything like that.
Yeah.
And Wolverine wanted the helmet, so he took Magneto to a bar and got him sloshed until Magneto passed out drunk, and then he just took his helmet and then left.
That's not a dad joke?
No.
I already had my hand ready and everything.
That's
God. All right. That's cool. Look, views are we're plummeting. We're plummeting right now.
You're plummeting.
I got my first solo dub. Wait, where'd it go? I just saw it, Darren. There it is. Oh, okay. So Interzone says Batman. I didn't know Batman drank. I'd like to drink a beer with Batman.
I would like to drink a beer with Batman too.
Just got my first solo dub this season. Congratulations, Darren!
And
cheers,
Darren. We got your gear coming out to you this week. Deadpool.
Drinking the movies.
I would definitely have a drink with Deadpool.
He was at the bar. You know,
he went to the bar all the time.
Yeah. I like that bar. Sister Mary Frances.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah. But when I think drinking superheroes, I definitely think Wolverine is top of mind. Lobo's the other one.
I don't know who that is.
DC side of things.
Okay.
He's pretty
the
cool.
Same thing as Wolverine, but on DC.
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
that's how you sold it to me. So yeah, there you go.
I just say he's on the DC side.
Okay.
I know you. Yep, you're into Batman, but outside of Batman, what else are you into on the DC side?
That's it.
Yeah.
Joker.
Yeah, same thing.
Joker.
But yeah, I definitely think Wolverine. I mean, that's
all right. Well, cool. Tony Stark was Tony Stark. Yeah, I would have a ginger ale with him. God dang. We need to get Darren a beer. You know what? He likes Sam Adams though. He likes Sam Adams.
Do we?
Sam 76 will do you right. Han Solo was always at the bar with Chewie. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct, Mundo. All right.
Sure.
You know, I mean, what do you want to talk about? We have about 26 minutes. We are sticking to the RTF clock today. We'll be back for late night beer review, which things can and will get out of hand. I'm trying to take it easy because I got stuff to do tomorrow, but I'm here to party.
Here's what I want you
I'm
to
here
do.
to party.
I need you to do me a favor.
What?
Let's promote all of our fellow podcasters. We got
You forgot
TJ. Oh, man.
Inner Zone. Yeah, coming in with that high heat.
Problem with Thor is he's going to drink me under the table. As much as I can drink,
yeah,
Thor's on a whole nother. He's a god.
Those Vikings, man, they're crazy.
Well, he's a god.
Well,
so.
yeah.
But let's
All
talk about TJ. Let's talk about Dos Primos. Talk about these other guys.
I don't know who those people are.
I'm so sick of you.
So we have several people who support our podcast, support our streaming, everything like that, and we support them as well. So a couple new podcasts have came out. Just Be a Dad podcast with TJ Burns, Dos Primos by Jay and his cousin. That's why it's called Primos. Fantasy football knowledge on one. You got Just Be a Dad on the other. Hey, I think most of TJ's words of wisdom are just kind of show up to be a dad. You want to check out those podcasts wherever you enjoy your podcast. Now, I know a lot of them have popped up on Facebook, and that's where to go. Now, we do have a lot of streamers in here right now. Well, I think two of them already went off and went streaming their stuff. Oh, yep, Mike Graham's already coming in. He says, hell, boy. Okay. And then we got, are you interested in moonshine? If I can get you some. I've had moonshine before. I get it, from my my hometown. But I don't know. I'll have to wait for Alan to get back in here for that. I want to have a beer with Bad Santa. Ryan, I don't know why you'd want to drink with him. I don't know where I would. Old School Wizard, he is on Just Be a Dad podcast on Facebook. I think he's Facebook only at this point.
Yeah.
And that's where he goes live on Sundays. Now we've met a lot of cool streamers along the way. Speaking of which, we have Old School Wizard in the house. Give him a look. The dude is so chill. I mean, even I rated him today, and 3 or 4 of my people come. Ryan was watching me. Ryan Francis. From better
let's do a podcast.
Let's do a podcast and beer with a purpose. And he's like, man, I love this chill vibe. I go, that's what I'm talking about, bro. We're just here to have a good time, everybody. So Old School was doing Fortnite, then flipped over to golf, and it was raining outside. He was playing golf. Boy, I was ready for a nap. I was like, dude, this is gonna be great. I can just go to sleep right now, leave it on, and just hear that cool little voice. You know what I mean? Well, we're gonna hit it about 35 yards there.
I chime in with Old School Wizard. I'll watch him. I need to start saying hi when I go on there.
Mm-hmm.
But part of it is when I go on there, he's gonna know who I am because my Facebook is it's just he knows who I am.
Yeah.
But my Facebook is different than who I am. Right.
I know.
Well,
Well, people know me as Rapid Dave, and they
right.
don't know who Brandon is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You tell people I'm Tony, they're like, wait a minute.
I don't tell anybody you're Tony.
Yeah.
Moon Knight, John, Constantine, Jessica Jones, guy from Sin City. So we got Nocturnal Rabbit in the house.
Yes, Moon Knight. But Moon Knight's a nutcase.
Yeah.
He's a head job. John Constantine, yes, but he might try to,
Nice. But as far as streaming goes, you have Part-Time Nerd, Rapid Dave streams, I'm part of the Dad Bot Elite, which is Dad's a Fortnite, Mass Daddy streams, and myself, a little trio action.
Our favorite Canadian Mass Daddy.
I know, right? He's such a nice guy.
So nice.
He popped into the stream today. He was like, I'm sorry. I'm like, what are you sorry for? He goes, I don't know. I just got here and I'm saying I'm sorry.
I don't know. I just feel like I did something. So I just need to make sure you know.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Now, if you follow anything, we share out the stream. We share out most of the people that we watch anyways, and we support them by sharing. And Ryan asked earlier, how do I support the stream? I'm like, dude, and Wacko even jumped in. He's like, share, follow.
Yeah, that's it.
I go, we don't need money. And that's the thing, we don't need. Yeah, why is he always calling you Tony? Exactly.
Poor Gil.
He's not. He hadn't been the same since.
He is not.
But that's how you support, podcasters that are live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or anywhere.
That's it.
Like, share,
that's
follow.
all we want you to do is share.
Like, share, follow.
Let's get some more people watching, interacting.
You want to buy us a beer? The beer fund is stocked right now, but the beer fund is always open. The beer fund is always open.
And not only that, but we like to support the local businesses. Nocturnal Rabbit, Ryan's here.
Yep.
If you're into comic books and you want to get signatures and get your stuff graded and all that, check him out. Ryan, share your link in the comments. 100%. Met that guy through Pastime. He's one of the owners out there at Pastime. Absolutely love the guys there. They do the live show Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yep.
Tomorrow's comics, or not 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock Central Time. Let me give you the right time. Tomorrow's comics today. And guess what, guys? If you're watching, you don't live here in the DFW area or near Watauga, and you're in another state, they'll ship them to you.
They'll use this method, right, where they box
called
this stuff up.
The U.S. Postal Service.
That's going out of
Or
business. They'll
FedEx?
probably use UPS or
They can use
something like
FedEx
that.
or UPS, whatever.
Yeah.
They'll mail them to you.
Yeah.
They will send you this thing called an invoice over the internet. I think it's like internet.com or something like that. They can send that to you, and then you can pay them over the internet.
Old school wizard, you don't have to support the beer fund. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it. No, we're all topped off, I think, right now. With all our recent donations and things like that. But yeah, I mean, the beer fund. I mean, everything's right here. It's Venmo and Cash App. But we're good for now. I mean, we're good for a little bit actually. So I mean but that's the thing, right? Like people want to know how to support. It's like, share, follow, interact as well, because the interaction is what most of it drives it. So I make sure if I do jump in someone's stream, if I'm watching or even a podcast, I will put I'm lurking because I'm working or something like that, and I just have it up just to let them know I'm here.
Just have it up.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes I don't even have the volume on.
See,
I just bring it up to have it to give you the views.
You got to have that
and
one
to give
click.
you
That one click of volume. No, the volume.
Oh, okay.
So you can't have muted. You got to go one notch where you can't hear it, but they know it's playing.
Okay.
Have you tried Asahi beer? That's a Japanese beer, right?
I
think I know that. Yeah, I think we've had that. It's any
Who said that?
Interzone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Nocturnal Rabbit, their internet web guy, creates a lot of bundles and keeps the website going. 15% off cover price, and you earn 10% loyalty points. PastimeComics.com.
Yes. Hockey question. What final matchup do you see happening?
Dallas Stars and Tampa Bay.
Oh.
I hope. It doesn't really matter because my team's coming out of the West one way or another. I'll put on my Star shirt or I'll go get my Vegas Knights shirt. I don't give a damn.
I got a Vegas koozie.
But Tampa Bay is definitely going to go. Now, the Islanders are putting up a fight today, but
Yeah, 1-1.
I think Tampa Bay is just going to be too hard. They're going to be.
Tampa should have been there last year, right? They got bounced in the first round.
Yeah, they got cocky. The cup was outside their stadium, game 1 of the series.
But that's what happens. So you get that team who that first year they go out there, they win the President's Cup, they got the best record in the league,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go into the playoffs and then you get humbled.
Yeah.
And then things change. I mean, it happened with my Red Wings. We didn't get bounced in the first round, but we got bounced in I think it was like the conference finals that first year against the Sharks and Arturas Urbe, that guy.
Yeah.
And then the next year we go to the finals and we lose to, you lose to Martin Brodeur and the Devils. Okay. Brodeur is arguably the best goalie ever.
So Nocturnal Rabbit says Stars in Tampa. Stars win it all. I don't know. David Spray, how do you think the Chiefs will do this year? I think we're going to talk.
The Chiefs are going to do well.
I think they're going to do
the well.
Yeah.
Well to good, good to well, maybe excellent. You got one of the best. You got one of the best offenses in the league.
The only thing they can improve on, and this would help them out greatly, would just be a little bit of defense.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
But
they have to put up 50 points a game because they give up 40 points a game.
But here's part of that problem, though. Mm-hmm. Part of that problem is that offense is too good. That offense will go out there.
They score too quickly.
And they will score. They'll hit Hardeman or they'll hit Tyreek Hill on the first play.
Mm-hmm.
And they've had the ball now for 30 seconds. And
that is a problem.
Now that defense is back out there.
Mm-hmm.
They got to work on having more longer sustaining drives to give that defense a break. Now, if you start giving that defense a break, does it make that defense better? Yes.
They need rest.
Yeah.
They need the break.
But that's not their offense. So you're going to ask them to change that offense that's so high powered.
And that's how you're going to screw up.
Right. So it's a delicate balance.
All I know is the Lions will lose on Sunday.
Is that Interzone?
Yeah, it is.
First of all,
do the Chiefs have a quarterback this year?
Hold on. Interzone. We're playing your Bears, and your Bears suck.
Oh, God.
They named Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
I'm not going to say it later now. But that guy sucks. But I'll tell you this: it's a proven fact. Here's why they named Mitch the starter.
There's nobody else.
No, they have Foles.
Oh,
they traded for Foles.
I didn't know Foles.
But here's the thing: all of Foles' best years have been when he has not been the day one starter.
Yeah, when he comes in, he's
when
backup.
He comes in a few weeks into the season, he's at his best. When you name him your starter at the beginning of the season, he sucks.
Okay. All right. Mike
Rabbit wants to know if the Chiefs have a QB this year.
I just read that like 5 minutes ago. Fun stat: the defense allowed 10 points per game in the month of December. The Chiefs actually have a good defense. I didn't know that. In the month of December.
Yeah.
So you got a playoff game, or at least one or two playoff games, and then a couple regular season.
They won the Super Bowl. So
was one of those a bye week as well?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't count a bye week.
No, I'm just saying in general. Like they only scored 10 points per game, but if they're coming off fresh, what do you expect? How did the Chiefs win last year with that defense? Their offense. Absolutely, their offense. Now, their defense wasn't horrible, but their offense was so
when you have an offense like that, like typically it's the defensive team that wins in the Super Bowl, right? But when you have an offense like that, just forget about it.
Yes, Trubisky sucks, but the Lions will still lose. All right, TJ, basic NFL knowledge. Whoever controls the line of scrimmage wins the game most of the time. Your offense needs to control the tempo of the game while the defense forces 3 and outs and turnovers. That's day one stuff.
Right. But the problem
Thanks for the contribution.
But the problem is when you have an offense that's so prolific and can score like that and has, like, I wish I would have done it, but I didn't have enough time. Like, so when the Chiefs played the Texans in the playoffs and the Chiefs were down by like 31 in the second quarter.
That's when you play that plus.
And I was like, oh man, I got to make this bet real quick.
We were talking
too. But then I had to go do something. My kid asked me to help her out with something.
It's always the
so
kid.
I stop and then I go back and the Chiefs were down by 7.
Yeah.
And this was like 5 minutes later. And I'm like, well, the odds are, And I'm like, the odds are, it's still in my favor. Well,
dude, you had the bet of the century.
And the next thing I know, they're winning. And I'm just like, well, that bet's out the window now.
I was standing up like, babe, they're back. They're coming back. I knew it was going to happen, but they're here.
I knew they were going to win. I just, like I said, you do what you got to do.
Super Bowl predictions for this year. I don't know. I don't really have any yet. Are the Chiefs going back? Sure. Are they going to play the 49ers? I mean, the NFC is so weird.
Here's the weird thing. And so let me just talk from the Dallas perspective. We're out here in DFW.
What's up, Dad? It's a Fortnite. DOFN in the house.
We hear a lot about the Dallas Cowboys and that.
Yeah.
And here's the big thing that I've been hearing. In all of the practices and things, the Dallas Cowboys have done 0 tackling drills or anything like that.
That's it. Really?
Nobody on the team has taken a tackle.
You got to be kidding me.
No one's been tackled or tackled somebody.
I haven't listened to any local radio either. So
because you've got a weird off season, you've got a weird training camp, no preseason, anything like that. So anybody on the Cowboys, the first time they get tackled, that's the first time they've been tackled.
Yeah.
That's
crazy. And
so that's going to be interesting.
Because I had them high. I was like, this year, I think they're going to be a little bit higher.
Are they the only team like that? I don't know.
Maybe
and like
not.
The Cowboys did the weird thing where they had the blue-white scrimmage, they call it.
Yeah.
The inner squad.
Yeah.
And they didn't have, on all the players, they didn't have any numbers or anything. So you had no idea who was even out there.
Larry coming in with the KC versus Tampa in the Super Bowl.
I don't mind that one at all.
Is Tampa in the NFC?
Tampa's over there.
I had no idea.
I've been a big, once they signed Brady, I was like, Tampa's going to make it to the Super Bowl.
Their offense is going to be so overpowered.
That offense is going to be
Their defense isn't horrible either.
Their defense ain't bad, but then you've got an offense that they're going to eat up some clock for sure.
Cowboys signed Brandon Carr. Their defense isn't stopping anyone. Oh, geez. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they just let go Clinton Dix.
Mm-hmm.
They signed him, and then they said, nah, we don't need you, bro. But then again, they've lost a few guys to season injuries already. They haven't tackled anybody yet. We'll see.
I think they just completely fall on their offense. Their offense is going to have to score 35 to 40 points a game to outlast their opponents. They're in a very super soft division. How good is Philly going to be? I mean, really, the Giants, to me, are the team to beat. I mean, they are looking good. The offense is good. The defense isn't horrible. Washington could be another contender as well. So put that down. Put that in your little book. In your book.
What's the bet on Washington?
Washington what? Oh, I'm getting like 5-1 or 10-1. Whatever the hell you want me to do, I'm getting like 10-1. Will the virus
crap's going to happen?
Will the virus change the outcome of the NFL this year? Of course,
it could. 100%. And that's the thing. So, like, I've had several people message me the last couple of days about our Pick'em League. We're not doing a Pick'em League this year.
No Pick'em League,
just because of there's no guarantee that the season will finish.
Yeah.
And then what's going to happen when the team has to miss a week and things like that because they've had an
Imagine
outbreak on the team?
Imagine when Pat Mahomes tested positive for COVID. What do you think's going to happen then? Lamar Jackson tests positive for COVID.
There's just so much uncertainty around the season that we just decided we're just not doing it. And then it comes to a matter of, so if the season starts and it doesn't finish, at what point in time do we say, here's where it's final, or here's where we give refunds and then giving refunds? I'm just not doing it.
I retract my previous statement. You got me, TJ. But the Giants have the clap now. I'm out.
As a offensive coordinator.
That's why I didn't do a pick'em. Okay, so you do the pick'em as well. Okay, yeah, we love it. And it's we have the $20 league and we do a big boy league. It's $100 we pay out weekly, but we couldn't do it.
I mean, last year,
Jay, come on, buddy.
What's Jay?
You're too over the top with the Cowboys.
Hold on a second, Jay.
Come on, buddy.
Jay, look at me.
Here's my question.
Hold on.
I got a serious question. Whenever you're done, you let me know.
Jay, look at me. I listened to your podcast today. I love it. It's good. The things you say, though, you're killing me, Jay. You are absolutely killing me.
That means you're doing it right, Jay.
He talked about Zach Ertz versus Goddard. And he's like, Goddard's not going to do anything. He was injury plagued last year. He wasn't that great last year. Goddard was a top 10 tight end last year.
Yeah. PPR.
Right. PPR. Yeah. And we're talking PPR. He's talking PPR.
Okay.
He says Goddard really isn't anything. He was a top 10 tight end last year.
All right.
Top 10.
Cowboy fans. I have a question. I have a serious question.
Don't look at me.
This is a serious.
You said Cowboys fans. Look into the camera. I got other issues with you, Jay, too. But
this is
you know what? I love you.
Serious question. Cowboy fans. Just like Jay, as you state here, Washington is trash. Giants are trash. Philly is definitely trash. Then why?
Who's won a Super Bowl most recently?
Exactly. 2, if they're such garbage, 1, why is it difficult for y'all to beat them? And then 2,
why'd you finish 8-8 last year?
And then when you do beat them, why are y'all throwing a freaking parade, leaving the stadium or anywhere else? Like everybody goes ape-s.
Oh yeah,
because y'all beat the damn Giants or you beat Washington. Washington wins like 2 games a year for like the last 3 years. So why is there a freaking parade being thrown and y'all won't shut the hell up on Monday morning?
But you didn't win your conference last year.
But you didn't win your conference.
You went 8-8, and all you had to do last year was beat the garbage Philadelphia Eagles.
That's my only question.
And you didn't do it.
And I'm not talking crazy. Saying. I'm not being crazy with you, Jay. I'm not getting out of line. I'm just saying this is the Cowboy mentality where the Giants suck, Philly sucks, Washington sucks. But when y'all beat a team that sucks, y'all go absolute ape-s. Like, y'all are so amped up, y'all are shooting each other in the damn parking lot.
You're like
Cowboy fans are the friggin' worst.
They win the like Kermit the Frog over there going,
Ryan Hort, the Cowboys D-line is deeper than it has been in over 20 years.
No, it's not.
Linebacker depth is weak, and secondary is wait and see, but at least there are some new coaching to be excited for.
Got rid of the head clapper in charge.
You did.
That was what's holding them back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's Fortnite. It's called a divisional game. Welcome to Dallas. Garbage Detroit loves beating garbage Chicago too.
And here's the thing: when you tell them their team's not that good, which they're not,
then they
didn't make the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
They want to say, well, what about?
Exactly.
We're not talking about them. Yeah. We're talking about you and your trash team.
Remember when I'm not going to say what
Cowboy fans are spoiled.
Yeah.
This coming from a lifelong Cowboys fan.
They're not.
Cowboys
how are they
fans,
spoiled?
You know what?
They won 3 Super Bowls
Cowboys
in like the
fans
90s.
are bad.
They're just terrible.
But I don't like Mavs fan more. The Mavs fan is worse than the Cowboys fan.
You don't like checkered button-up shirts and a nice vest from Pantagoda or whatever the hell that place is?
All the girls look like they're Han Solo.
Yeah, I was talking about the guys, but yeah. You got guys that are dressed up like ranchers from West Fort Worth, and then the girls are dressed like Han Solo. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Old school wizard, David. Guys, hit the share button. Let your friends know how awesome about this awesome stream. Appreciate you, brother. He's definitely getting a sticker. Old school. A sticker and a few other things, too.
Yeah. Oh, man.
For sure.
Larry, what's the strongest division? I'd love to know. What are you drinking now? We're finishing off the rest of our Red Gap beer.
We're drinking some more of the Red Gap one. You're drinking the Mexican lager. Mm-hmm. I'm drinking the Milkshake
Yep.
IPA.
Now, late night beer review. We'll be back to the Oktoberfest beers. We have a 6-pack waiting for us, just sitting there
Or
calling
the
our name.
4-pack, one of the two.
Yeah, it's one of them. We'll go in there and flip a coin, I
Yeah.
guess.
But yeah, we're still drinking the Red Gap beers from the show today.
Stars.
And Rumley chimes in with stars. That's his answer for everything.
I could have swore that was
Rumley,
Josh.
who's going to win the Super Bowl? His answer is going to be stars.
Stars.
In all caps, like he's yelling it at us.
Strongest division in the NFC West. God. Oh, this is awesome. This is so good. So good. All right. We got about 3 minutes to wrap this thing up. Maybe
5.
4. I'm looking at the counter right now. I know
Okay,
exactly
whatever.
how much time we have left.
I mean,
So I'd like to thank everybody who stopped by today, who liked, shared, followed.
you shared, you get the stepbrother sticker.
So let me know if you want one.
And
Send
a
it
few
to the
others.
page. Most Cowboy fans are bandwagon jumpers, America's team, or they still are living in the 90s. Oh, they're all living in the 90s. Yeah, absolutely.
Most
Yeah.
Cowboys fans today have not seen the Cowboys win a Super Bowl.
Correct.
That's just science.
Billy Joe coming in with the Chiefs.
Oh, what's up, Billy Joe?
Like the chefs, huh? Let's see. Point is, you're
That
going
is-
to get biased thoughts. You're getting Cowboys territory. You think the Giants fans don't think they're great? Well, no, that's the thing.
No, we've got a Giants fan in this house, and she fully understands that they're not that good.
But she's still going to root for them. But
Right.
the thing is, here's the thing. But she doesn't think all these other teams suck.
No.
She just like, let's just get a win this week.
Right.
Let's move along.
But if you ask me about the Cowboys, you're not that good because you didn't make the playoffs last year.
But then you say
You're
all these other
8-8.
teams suck.
You're a 500 record over the last 6 years. You're not a good team.
Super Bowl stars, World Series stars, college champion stars. All I know is I got to get more cowbell.
Oh, man. NFC West, San Francisco, Seattle, Rams, Chiefs. Yeah, that's probably your toughest division right there.
It's got to be, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
look at that. And then the cards are on the up and coming. I mean, you got a second-year
You
quarterback
added
there.
D-Hop.
You added
Ooh,
D-Hop.
buddy.
The defense isn't baggy. They're okay. They're just, not that great. But the offense is going to be so overpowering this year. It's going to be fantastic.
That was the other thing with Jay. Jay said he made the comment about D-Hop, and he was like, oh, I bought into him last year because the year before he had 0 drops, and then he had the season he had last year. I'm looking for him to rebound this year. He's a top 3 fantasy football wide receiver.
Every year.
I think he was number 2 last year.
Yeah, he's not
I
rebounding.
need to go back and look in PPR. What rebound? What? So he has to pass Michael Thomas to have a good year?
If you want to talk about something, and it starts with an R, it's called regression. You can support your team without cursing everyone else's. That is not the Cowboy way, Darren.
It is not.
It's not the Cowboy way.
Here's the thing. I'm a Lions fan, so I'm a glutton for punishment.
Yeah.
But
Billy
every
Joe,
year I go into it thinking it's our year.
yeah.
Huh.
Billy Joe, I have said Chiefs for the last 40 years, but last year I was correct.
Hey,
Yes, you were. All it takes one time. All it
That's
takes
it.
is one time.
I've been calling for the downfall of Russell Wilson for like the last 5 years. Eventually, I'm going to hit.
Oh boy.
But there's the music.
Man.
You guys know what the music means.
No, we got your point. The point is, I'm sure they bash everyone else, but they don't win. And they don't do this and that. But you're not
you
catching my point. You're not catching the point.
The point is,
Y'all suck.
Cowboys suck.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the point.
And the fans suck. That's the other
They
point.
are. They're awful.
Trust me. If you go to enough games or whatever, if they're shooting in the parking lot and they're shooting at each other or fighting with each other, they suck. They're just bad fans.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
You can love the Cowboys, but like Darren said, why does why when someone says your team sucks, you attack other teams that have nothing to do with your
Yeah.
team? We're saying your team sucks.
Here's the thing. Yeah, I'm a Lions fan. We had a bad year last year. But if you're a Cowboys fan, don't tell me my team sucks because neither one of us were in the playoffs last year.
Your team sucks.
Your team sucks. Here's what happens. I get a better first round pick. Suck it.
I'm glad y'all traded that first rounder for Amari Cooper.
Yeah. But you know what, guys? It's been a lot of fun. We're going to be back in 30 minutes. Late night beer review. We're going to do some Oktoberfest beer. Can't wait. Can't wait.
That's gonna be fun.
Everyone who's chimed in, liked, shared, followed, we appreciate you, brothers. Looking forward to late night beer reviews. As always, I'm Alan.
I'm Rapid Freaking Dave.
Or Rapid TikTok Dave.
I'm Rapid TikTok. I'm sorry. I'm Rapid TikTok Dave.
We'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to Strikeout Beer.
It was a great episode.
Wait, there's no more?